Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing the Lexus ES 300H. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Lexus here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this car. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Chris. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder paired to an eCVT and a hybrid system. System output is 215 horsepower with fuel economy being 43 around town and then 44 on the highway. Now before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see there's kind of like that subtle U shape, and then I like the lines there on either side, really sharp look. Now we've got this really cool light design here, especially with like the daytime running light action there at the bottom. I just think that looks fantastic. And look at the silver trim here, and then also around the grille. And by the way, look at that grille design. And putting it all together, there is the front end of the ES 300H. Camera on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235, 45, 18 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, you got this really cool kind of effect on it. It's not quite chrome, but it's almost chrome. It's really cool. Anyway, speaking of chrome trim, you guys can see there in the mirror and then also around the windows as well. And then here's your full side view with the ES. So here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function, the opening for the trunk, and then the Lexus logo there on the back. And then here is the cargo space with the ES. You guys can see it is absolutely massive, and it doesn't look like you give up anything for the hybrid. Yeah, so it looks like it's just as spacious as the non-hybrid, so nothing to concede, and this is always cool. Plop. Now I've got this low profile spoiler here. You guys can see the taillights here that look like the Lexus logo, and then of course our ES 300H badge, and then look at the chrome trim there at the bottom. So wrapping it up, let me know what you guys think about the exterior styling here on this ES. Now taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see the trim here, and then look at the wood trim that goes across, and we've got some sunshade action. And then I love the two-tone with the coloration on the door panel. It looks really sharp. Then we got the Mark Levinson sound system. And then look at these seats. I really like this color. It's kind of like caramel. And here's your legroom. You guys can see a little storage pocket, and then look at the vents here, and then also little charging ports down below, and then got some cup holder action here. Nice some padding on the top, which is great. And then last but not least, underarm's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see here with the padding, then up topping, and look at the wood trim, and then the stitching that matches the trim down below. Memory seats, we've got all of our window controls. The mirrors do power fold in, and then they also have blind spot monitoring. And then here the front seats, you guys can see perforated all down the center, and look at the black on the side, and then also with little inserts there. Power adjustments on the side. And then pretty normal pedal layout down below. We have our gas cap release with our trunk release, and then that's for the camera system. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, I love the grips here on the side, and look at the wood trim as well. It's all really cool. Paddle shifters there on the back for the eCVT, and then you guys can see got some controls for center stack, volume controls. We've got our adaptive cruise control as well, and then our stalks here on the back. Now here is our gauge cluster for the ES. You guys can see digital gauge cluster. We can see different bits of info there on that little side tab. But cool part here is the drive mode. So look at the sport mode right there. Just kind of has a fun little animation. But obviously it also shows you kind of the hybrid stuff that's happening with the car. So we've got this 360 camera system. As you can see, you got the bird's eye view there, and then look at the trajectory lines there at the back that turn with the steering wheel. Really good resolution overall. And then as for the rest of the infotainment screen, response time with this is actually really good. As you can see, you got like the shortcut bar there on the side. So overall easy to use, got a little clock there on the side, and then you guys can see the stock for the drive mode select. And while we're up top, you got soft touch here on the top. And look at the wood trim there. It goes across. Then again with the stitching and the padding right here. And then we got our dual zone climate controls, and then some analog controls for the radio. Heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel as well. Got a little storage space right here. And then look at this. Some USB action. Cup holders right here, and then you can see the shifter for that eCVT. Again, you got the manual mode. Auto hold here with our EV mode, and then wireless phone charging pad. And then look at this with the padding on the top. And good storage inside, got some USB action. And while we're on the topic of storage, glove box, also pretty big, and it's got some nice padding on the outside of it. And then up top, we got our controls for the sunroof, and here's a quick look at the sunroof itself. And then notice the headliner matches the seats. So here's a quick look at our window sticker for this. You guys can see all the standard equipment. It just has a few options added to it. Base MSRP, total MSRP is $56,700. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off in this ES 300H. So here's your visibility of the hood, and hope you can see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors do blind spot monitoring. And then throughout the rest of the rear. And, well, let us set off. So I'm driving this back-to-back with the 350. So I will make some comparisons for you guys between this and the 350. If you happen to be comparing them, I mean, the 350 F Sport that I just reviewed was about the same price. What is this person doing? It's about the same price as this. So I think they are very comparable. That was really weird. They're just sitting in the middle of the road. Super, super weird. But anyways, getting up. So yeah, I mean, there's a big power difference between the two cars. This 215 horsepower, whereas the 350 has like 302 horsepower. You do feel the difference like right off the bat. This I feel like I have to get in the pedal more, whereas the 350 didn't have to get in the pedal as much. I will say though, like low speed travel, like parking lots and everything, this feels way better. But I mean, that's just always with, you know, electric power, because you get the just instant torque right off the bat. And it's not an F Sport. It still handles pretty well, but not as well as the F Sport. You can actually tell the difference, which is interesting. And I really like this. Is so random, but I love this wood trim. I think I'm getting old, guys, because I'm starting to like these you know, brown interiors, the wood trim, all the old people touches in a car. Oh boy. But yeah, suspension's really comfortable. Seats are really comfortable as well. So it's just a comfortable ride overall. And so yeah, as a luxury car so far, it's doing good. Going over the train tracks here. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Comfortable with the suspension. Woo! Not bad. I mean, again, it's not as quick as the 350, but it's still like punches hard, especially that like 0 to 40 feels strong. But I'm sure that, you know, once you get above 40, that's where you're really going to kind of feel the difference, because the extra horsepower that the 350 has. It's so comfortable. I love how Lexuses drive. They're just so comfortable. Like, it's just the type of car that you can just get in and cruise in for so long. So let's sum things up here with this 300H. Exterior wise, again, maybe it's because I'm turning into an old man, but I'm starting to like I like the chrome trim on the outside. I do think the F Sport though, the sportier look, I think that's also really sharp. And then when it comes to the inside, I really like this interior. Like, it looks really, really good. So I think they did a great job with this coloration. I hope that this color ends up in other Lexus models, because it's sharp looking. Like the gauge cluster too, with the digital look. I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, it drives well. It drives really well. It's definitely an interesting car, because nobody really makes hybrids like this in luxury cars, because luxury cars for most automakers are all about performance. This obviously is basically a Prius, but it's a luxury Prius in a sense. I don't think it's a bad thing though. I think that if you don't really care about sporty driving, which a lot of people don't, right? You're just using this as, and look at that, the handles well. You know, using this as like an A to B type car, and you just want something that's comfortable, that gets good fuel economy, then that's what this provides. And it does a really good job with that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the ES 300H, and let me know if you like this more or if you like the 350.